just a bit outside.
And welcome to another episode of Just a Bit Outside. I'm your host, Steve Ely, and along with me, as always, my co-host, Wes Cook.
Belt to ass.
I saw that several times. Oh, man. How happy are you this week, sir?
Oh, man, words can't explain it. The trip to Philly was phenomenal. You couldn't ask for much better out of this past week. Well, we went up Saturday and went to Chickies and Pete's for dinner Saturday night. This city's painted in green. People wear Birds gear, everything. It was so fun. It was just a great time. You walk into the bar, everything's themed with the Eagles, the Super Bowl. Everything is just the city's like atmosphere. You can just feel it as soon as you get in there. It's just it just overwhelms you, and it's a beautiful place. Do Chickies and Pete's for dinner. Then we ended up going to Monk's Cafe, which is a really cool bar right up in Rittenhouse Square, and we get to just a lot of random beers that you normally don't get around here and things like that to have. So we really got into it that night. It was a good starter, prepare yourself for what tomorrow's going to bring.
Tomorrow's bringing.
Sunday, we get up, we go get breakfast. You know, the game's not till like 6:30.
Oh, I saw the pictures standing in line to get in a bar at 11.
Yeah, so my buddy Josh, and his friend Mike, we called him New Mike because our buddy Mike that we normally watch with ended up not going up. But yeah, Andy came up to Philly for the game. So they had gone to a couple bars and just scouted the venues and stuff like where are we going to watch this game?
Yeah.
So Garage Bar on East Passyunk is where we ended up at. And the guy's like, man, if you show up about 2 or 3, I think you. Josh is like, man, we traveled 9 hours to get up here. We're going to make sure we're here. So we stayed in South Philly. We about a 15, 20-minute walk from the bar. So we ended up getting out of the house about 11 o'clock just to make sure. And when we got there at 11:15, 11:30, whatever, the line for the bar was 30 people deep, maybe. You know, this is 7 hours before game time.
I saw the pictures. And I was like, ooh.
So the bar opened at noon. So we stood out in line for 30, 45 minutes. Ended up getting into the bar. We were in the bar till the end of the game. So that was a long day at the bar, but I'll tell you, it was a good time. Because when you're with the fan base,
when you're with your team's fan base, and
right, you're with your people and everybody with the same common goal, just the togetherness of everybody. Everybody was kind. Everybody was about it.
Yeah,
it was fun. It was a great time, and the entire day, you didn't. No fights in the bars and nothing. It was pleasant the entire time. It was crowded and everybody's shoulder to shoulder. And usually you see, people get irritated with other people. Nah, everybody had a smile on their face, and my nerves were at all-time high at kickoff, and really the Birds just alleviated all of that
very quickly.
Quickly by halftime. You felt good. You're still hyped, but you're still skeptical because, it is Patrick Mahomes on the other side. But props off to this coaching staff, these players. They came out and just absolutely balled.
Yeah, I watched the game. I told you last time we were here that I thought Philly was going to win it. That I was pretty good with it. What I saw defensively from them in the game was just ridiculous. Ridiculous. I mean, you got to think they held them to 23 yards in the first half.
Right.
They didn't even cross the 50.
They didn't cross the 50 in the first.
They didn't cross the 50 till late third quarter.
3 minutes left in the third quarter.
Yeah.
And it was 34-0 when they finally crossed that field.
Yeah. I mean, the game was over very early.
Yeah.
To me.
The fact that they kept their foot on the gas was so impressive. Like they knew they left it all on the field. There was quotes that came out and Barkley was just on the team. He's like, that scoreboard don't mean shit. It is 0-0. It is 0-0. You go out there and you leave it all out there. It don't matter what that scoreboard says. We don't know it exists.
That's it.
And I mean, they kept that mentality basically up until fourth quarter, and you see Kenny Pickett come in the game, and you just like, that's like when everything hits you, and you're just like, I mean, there's words don't describe the feeling. It's just euphoric. It's so joyous. Everything you cheer for year in and year out. And being a Philadelphia fan, it hasn't come often until now. Recently, 3 Super Bowls since 2017 we've appeared in.
Yeah.
And won 2 of them. And
and the window is still very much open.
Oh, absolutely.
I think you've got a couple more years because you still got some very key pieces on the defensive side still on rookie deals.
Yeah, Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, we had the rooks this year. Kenyon and Cooper were phenomenal.
They were.
I mean, the base and the core of this defense is very young.
Mm-hmm.
So still plenty of time to capitalize on it, especially with the way Jalen Hurts' contract is constructed.
They have the ability to be flexible.
That's
what they have.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And that there's been talks of the start of a dynasty and all this stuff, and I don't want to hear it. You want to make sure that you're consistently performing, and we're fortunate injury wise this year, so that helps. And but we're also deep, and we're able to substitute guys in and out, especially on that O-line. It's very impressive on what they can do there. There's some key free agents coming up this year that may change the course of things. It just depends on who we sign. I mean, Zach Bond's going to be huge. Got an all-pro linebacker. He's going
to cost a penny.
He's going to cost a penny
because somebody
Williams on that D-line. He's going to be asking for money. You got to look at Becton on the O-line.
Yeah,
he's going to look for some money. Those are the 3 big ones that really stand out. So those are the ones you got to decide where we can make things happen. I think the O-line. I think Becton will probably cost too much, but when you have a guy like Stoutland that is the O-line coach and the running game coordinator, I mean, and he's just proven year in and year out that O-line is going to be just fine. So
yeah,
we're going to come up against it with another new OC, of course, with Kellen Moore moving on to the Saints. So yeah, there's a lot of things that'll be interesting to see how they unfold this offseason before you can start talking that kind of stuff. But there's a lot of people that do believe in these Eagles and what they can do going forward. I mean, I agree. I think the offense is probably not going to really much miss a beat.
No, it's not going to change.
As long as they don't come in and change that playbook way too much, I think just try to remain consistent with what Jalen Hurts has gotten used to, especially this year, and how much he developed later on in this year, and just the progression you saw with his game really at the end of the year.
Yeah.
So hopefully that could kind of continue. But I mean, the end goal there is exactly the Super Bowl, and we got it this year, and I couldn't be happier. It's been phenomenal.
I mean, they played great. The biggest surprise to me is that Saquon didn't break 100. or get a touchdown.
I mean, the Chiefs' defense, that the one thing you can write about
that was
what
the best.
they did was they game planned for Saquon. I think that was partially a mistake because they didn't get too risky on offense. The whole thing, or on defense, excuse me.
No, they did not.
What they were trying to do was contain Saquon and make Jalen beat him. Problem was, Jalen beat him.
Well, they beat him. The Eagles' weapons were just too much, too deep.
Yeah.
Offensive
firepower, and then, of course, the defense as well. I mean, the defense is turning them over, especially in those key spots, that pick six.
I've said
those things change the course of the game really fast. And, I mean, getting to Mahomes without blitzing at all the entire game.
Kansas City's offense is lacking in weapon firepower.
Oh, I mean, you saw the drops. Even DeAndre Hopkins had a wide open drop in this game.
Yeah.
And I think the way the defense played, with the intensity they played with and just the precision they played with, really got to that Kansas City offense, and they struggled.
All game.
Yeah, I mean, Mahomes didn't have time. Mahomes had a tough time even getting out of the pocket and creating anything. He wasn't great with his legs. It's like they learned from 2 years ago, and they're like, this is what we need to do. And
you get pressure on him, you can beat him.
Fangio did a fantastic job with the game plan. We did a fantastic job with the front four, just getting pressure with only four. I mean,
KC's offense their offensive line looked lost the majority of the night.
Yeah, and when you got 7 defenders that are all looking down the quarterback and can play in coverage, that's tough, man. It's really you really limit the options that Mahomes has to throw to, and especially when you're trying to do something quick.
Yeah, I just want to say congratulations, sir. I know you're stoked.
Oh, yeah.
The trip was stoked. I just on that.
I mean, 2-time Super Bowl champions. It's a good feeling, considering we were before 2017. It was 0, and here we are.
Well, you're 2-time Super Bowl champion. You're honestly, I don't see you going away.
Hopefully not.
In the next couple of years, at least.
They should be competitive for years to come. Absolutely. I'd say.
I mean, Rosen makes good moves, but the question is, there's going to be a point where because they have drafted so well, and that these guys are all being contributors, that it's going to be like, at some point, you lucky for you got a few years to worry about it, but at some point there's going to be, okay, who can we afford to keep? Who can we not?
I mean, and that's what defines a great.
Yeah.
Is, it starts at the top and it works its way all the way down to the bottom. You've got to be able to draft well, so you're filling in the key pieces you're not going to be able to afford later on. That's New England did it very well. But they also were fortunate with a quarterback who
was more than willing to take less money to win.
Yeah, he cared more about winning than anything else, and he made more than enough money. He played almost 20 years in the league.
He still made over $300 million.
Yeah, and he did just fine for himself. So it comes down to what you're willing to do as a player and how much of a teammate you really are.
Yeah.
I think a lot that hasn't been talked about is like what Saquon Barkley brought to this team, especially in the locker room. As a leader of this team, and where you saw this team last year and how it ended, and plugging in Barkley here and early on in the season, seeing the 2-2 start, and just going into that bye, and everybody's like, "Oh God, here we go again." But you saw things take shape, and just the mentality of this team kind of changed, and they were 16-1 after that start, 16-1 to finish the year, and that one loss was when Jalen Hurts got hurt.
Yeah, they were fantastic down the stretch. I mean, just fantastic. The one hiccup against Washington, I'm not even going to say that was completely just them playing bad. Losing hurts. Going with Pickett, who played pretty rough.
Well, I mean, Pickett was not fun to watch.
No.
But
I
mean, that he is your backup, so there's a reason. But if it came down to a point where we didn't have Hurts in the playoffs, and you're relying on Kenny Pickett, he's not going to become Nick Foles.
No, he's not.
We know that.
Nope.
So, I mean, that part of it is why Jalen was your Super Bowl MVP. You got to just this is one of the best teams I've ever watched play. And
they were great.
Yeah, the most points scored in the playoffs by a single team ever.
Well, I mean, they scored 95 in the last 2 rounds.
Yep.
So
yeah, they played for something. They knew what they wanted and went out and got it. We couldn't be more proud of this team. Happier. It's just a great season. This sad to see it end, but it's awesome that it extended all the way to Valentine's Day, basically.
It did.
Yeah, so we got to spend the week. We spent the whole week in Philly. Went to the parade on Friday. Estimated 1.5 million people, maybe upward to 2 million people in the city, amongst the bars and just out for the parade itself. And I'll tell you, that sounds about right because I saw those people. There was that many people out there, and it was wild. I mean, I saw dudes blackout drunk at 10 a.m. Parade didn't start till 11 on Friday. There was guys blackout drunk at 10. I don't know. I feel like some of them might have been just continued drinking until the next day because there's no way you got up at like 6 a.m. and just started pounding beers and you got that hammered by then.
No, that's we drank all night.
Yeah, I think that was all drink all night until 10 a.m. the next day. Yeah. That would be more like it in my opinion. I can't see it because I mean we were pacing ourselves throughout the day just to because we knew we had some walking in front of us and that was going to make it very difficult if we got too banged up. So,
yeah,
and the thing is, when you're drinking, you got to piss all the time. The Porta-Johns, so we got up like near the fence line. We're about 4 rows behind the fence line. And the Porta-Johns were about, I'd say, a football field length behind us.
Oh, God. Yeah.
So you got to weave your way through the crowd to get to the Porta-John. And then good luck getting back because you got to weave back back to your spot. It's not like anybody's saving you a spot in there.
No.
Like the parade is just a free for all of people. And I mean, and it's a weird thing because you just run around drinking and do whatever you want. I mean, even the cops are in it. They're having a good time. Like, so, the street is split or the street's blocked off. So you got fans on one side of the street, you got fans on the other. And there's footballs and tennis balls going back and forth and just people throwing stuff back and forth. It was a good time. I mean, it was, and the cops were just like anything that didn't make it across, they pick it up and hand it back. They were having a good time. Like this city was having a good time. And you just didn't see anybody upset or pissed off. It wasn't wild. The only time I saw people pissed off was like at the Porta-John when someone was in so this is another story. We got in the line, me and Josh got in the lines for the Porta-Johns.
Mm-hmm.
And Josh hops in one line, I hopped in the other. I got in the wrong line. So we're sitting there and it's like 5 minutes and this dude hadn't come out of the Porta-John yet. Man, what is going on with this guy? And then, wait another couple minutes, and then the guys behind me start talking trash to him, like, "What the fuck, man? What are you doing?" And they start banging on the door, nothing. And you're like, "Man, he's passed out in there." I'm like, I'm like seriously, like I gotta piss so bad, and I'm like, I'm gonna move lines here in a second, and it's like 2 or 3 more minutes, and I mean, a number of people banged on this door, and every now and then you see movement in there because like the door will move or the Porta-John will move a little bit. And the dude eventually comes out. I mean, a good 10 minutes. and he comes stumbling out of the porta-john. And you're like, and everybody's clapping for him, and there's other people yelling at him, like, "Dude, what are you doing in here taking a shit in a porta-john?" You know, it's like you can't take a shit in a porta-john, not there. Like this is the piss, get out, and go. You know,
Yeah.
So it's like you get in, you get out. This ain't a place to rest. This ain't a place to take a nap, man. These are people got to go piss. Everybody's been drinking all morning. Like we got to, you know.
Can't be scrolling through TikTok or Instagram in there.
Yeah, I know. I was like, what, you got a game going on in there or something? It's like, dude. Yeah, now the guy was pretty banged up that was coming out of there. But yeah, I don't know what he was doing in there. It couldn't have been good.
Oh, dude. I gotta imagine. Not in that environment.
No. That's the only time people get rowdy, when you gotta pee.
He probably had the bubble gut.
I would assume so, but I mean, like, you can't sit in there for 10 minutes, man. You got to pitch it off.
You got to go and,
yeah, you got to push it all out as fast as you can. Like, literally, like a 3 to 4 minutes is probably tops anybody's going to give you. Because, like, if they didn't watch you go in, then maybe it's a girl. And you're like, okay, 3 to 4 minutes, it's fine. That's, I can understand it. But after 5 minutes, like, it doesn't matter who's in there at that point.
Oh, no.
No, it's no holds barred anymore. Like, you need to figure it the hell out. Get the hell out of here. Like, it's time for somebody else to go. So, but yeah, that's probably the only time I saw anybody get mad. You know, I saw cool signs. I saw, like, there's these little kids walking around. They had like cutouts of Mahomes' face, like when he did that big pouty face. He's like, I saw a dude with a sign that said Mahomes is a pussy. I saw so many burning Kermit the Frogs.
Oh,
They're just lit on fire. I saw one hold him on a leash and like just pull him around and was slinging him and beating him up, and then people would come up and kick it, and it's just a good time, man.
So
it was phenomenal. Yeah, so like we went out on Broad after the win. That was nuts. Just there was bands out there playing. There's people like riding on top of cars, just having a good old time. I mean, and you can just, everybody's out there drinking and having a good time. It's weird just being in the street of Philadelphia, like just drinking beers.
And nobody caring.
Nobody cares. Like we walked Friday after the parade. Me and Josh walked all the way to Old City. I mean, it's a long ass walk. It was a good 30-minute walk from Benjamin Franklin Parkway to Old City. At least 30 minutes. It might have been longer. It didn't. Just because I don't know, but you still have some adrenaline from the parade or whatever. So, yeah, I mean, we drank the whole way there. We'd stuck because we had a backpack full of beers.
Been hurting, sir.
No, I mean,
I'd have made it. Don't get me wrong.
I didn't. I mean, like I said, we paced ourselves pretty well. I quit drinking, like, because we stopped and had lunch, and I stopped drinking then, and we knew we had to leave early the next morning. So,
what I saw in the game, though, I saw a couple of things. Philly was fantastic the entire time. I saw Travis Kelce look really old and really slow. And it's not going to surprise me if you see him retire over the next couple of months.
The thing is, though, with Travis Kelce, even though he has lost a step, but of course he is, he's about to be 36, I think.
35 or 36. I mean,
he's still a top flight tight end. He's just more of a possession guy now than he is. But you're also looking at a defense that's playing lights out.
Yeah, but you're also, my whole thing about it is you're looking at a guy who I think he knows he's lost a step.
Oh, he came out and said it on his podcast. When he came out on the podcast and said, you know, when you can't contribute the way you're used to or the way you used to be able to, you start questioning the retirement. You know, he said he's going to take some time to think about it and decide what he's going to do. And, you know, that's very reasonable. You know, at 36 and playing the game as long as he has, as well as he has. Oh, yeah. It's really hard to say. It's really hard to say that it would be a bad decision. Like, he doesn't have a whole lot more to accomplish in the league, like we've talked about before.
I mean, second best tight end to ever play at this moment.
Right. And I mean, there's nothing to argue with there.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, you definitely saw it more in the full effect there. He wasn't effective the way that you've come to expect or to trust Travis Kelce to play in a big game like that. So yeah, that was a demoralizing loss for Kansas City. I mean, across the board for all those players, I mean, that was one of those like soul sucking losses.
Zero running game.
Oh yeah, nothing.
Zero running game.
Well, and then when you're playing from behind so early.
Yeah.
You almost have to abandon it. And I've watched Andy Reid play from behind a lot, and it's not great. Like when he gets in big deficits.
11 attempts the entire game. 11.
Does that exclude Mahomes?
No, that includes Mahomes.
Oh, wow.
4 carries. I mean, that is insane to me. I mean, just like, what are you doing?
Well, when you jump out to a big lead and you do the things you do there.
Yeah, but I thought
24 nothing at half. I mean,
they were getting too cute offensively. I thought some of these pass plays they were running, some of these routes they were running, trying to be too gimmicky a little bit on here and there.
Sometimes that's what gets you back in some of this stuff.
But it didn't work at all.
No, it didn't work for them. No,
turnovers were horrible. I mean, what they end up with 4, 5,
3,
2 interceptions and a fumble,
right? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Just not good.
No, not at all. And like when you look at that first quarter and how things went down, and the pick hurts through, and that's when you start worrying about things. It was just extremely underthrown, and you hadn't turned the ball all over at all during the preseason. So yeah, those were worrisome moments. You're like, this is going to be a game. This one, we're going to sweat it out. And then, I don't know, a light switch came on both sides of the ball. And it was like, no, we're just going to do our thing. And we're going to take care of business. And they did. They did.
Man, I was around a bunch of fans that were not happy. Which, it didn't bother me.
No.
They're like, oh, you're in a good mood. Well, of course I am. I want some money.
That makes you happy.
Makes me happy. I'll sit here and drink water and win money all day. I don't care. But
every time Taylor Swift was, and they didn't show her a whole lot, but
she didn't look happy at all.
She didn't look happy, but every time she got shown on the television, the entire bar just booed as loud as possible.
Oh, they were booing her at the stadium every time.
That was funny too. And she's sitting there like, wow. And it's, it isn't her fault the NFL exploits her fandom.
She knows what they're doing.
But she knows it. Yeah, absolutely. And, being as big of a figure as she is, you should expect it. Like you're going to be shown. Yeah. But I don't think she was ready for the boost she got from the stadium.
I mean, they showed all kinds of people at the stadium. All kinds. Like the entire broadcast you saw.
Mm-hmm.
It was everybody. And then they'd show her. Boom. And it
was wild. But football is just kind of tired of it. The football fans are tired of it. I get why the NFL does it. They, it is viewership. It's money. It's bringing in all the people that would never watch football otherwise.
Yeah. Yeah. And football gets the NFL gets their way and gets an 18th game that they want.
Yeah.
Now to put the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Another week out.
Essentially this past weekend with President's Day following it.
Not necessarily a bad look because
I don't
most
think
people were off the day after the Super Bowl.
I don't think it's a bad look. I mean, usually
But
I
we've
take
talked
off
for years that the Super Bowl should be played on a Saturday.
Yes. I don't understand why it's on a Sunday.
Everybody wants to watch it and not have to work the next day.
Imagine
I can only imagine it would just increase viewership too.
Oh,
But they always look at the Sunday as like, this is all what we've done. So they just stay
Sunday is
traditional with it.
football day.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, no, but
Yeah.
go ahead and encroach on college football like college football is encroaching on you.
Right.
Just play it on a Saturday, be done with it. I mean,
But
college.
there's no college football then.
Yeah.
It's already over. You can play it on Saturday. No one's going to give a damn.
No one's going to give a damn.
Exactly.
I guarantee you move it to a Saturday. I bet you the college basketball schedule will clean up on that Saturday.
Oh, it absolutely would.
It'd be like nothing. It would be, I ain't going to say it'd be nothing, but it would be all low key, non like marquee
you
matchups.
can play big matchups though. That's the thing.
It had to be early.
What? Yeah, like the 12 o'clock slot, the 3 o'clock slot. You can have big matchups and capitalize on the a full day of sports. You got college basketball kicking off essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, it's not, but that's what you officially declare college basketball season, and then is the end of the NFL season. So you kind of, and you get that full day of sports, and like it becomes an all day event for people instead of just the evening event.
I agree with you.
But what do I know?
I agree with you. I would love it on a Saturday.
No, I agree. That would be fantastic. I was off all week, so it didn't bother me.
Yeah, I was not.
I got a week to recover from the Super Bowl and prepare for a parade.
Yeah. You and your parade.
It was so good, man.
I know. I'm just giving it to you this week. You deserve it.
Nothing's bringing me down.
No, as it shouldn't.
Nope.
As it should.
Nothing will bring me down.
Yeah. So you get harder into the Sixers season and then.
Oh, I went to the Sixers game on Tuesday. It was awful.
I know. I didn't even realize that Embiid was playing after I sent you that. I was like, oh, that's pretty funny.
Yeah, he played. The thing was, like, he plays and he comes out. He looks great. He looks great early on. He's starting to kill it. And then, midway through the third quarter, he's out. And comes back in the fourth quarter. It's okay. Anyways, it comes down. We're down 2. And we have, like, the last possession. Maxey drives in and kicks it out to a wide open Embiid at the top of the 3. And Embiid passes up a wide open 3, which he takes that 3 9 out of 10 times anyway, and decides to put the ball on the deck and try to drive. And he loses the ball. End the game right there. Like, what the f are you doing?
Sounds like a Ben Simmons move.
Exactly. It feels like Ben Simmons.
Oof.
I was like, if you took the shot and missed it, oh well. But why are you driving to the basket when we're down 2 and you have a wide open 3-pointer with like 8 seconds left?
Why didn't he take it?
No question. He should have taken it. I don't know why he didn't. I don't know what it was going through his mind or what his thought process was there, but dude, it was an abysmal loss to a bad Raptors team at that.
I haven't really looked at the standings on that side, but I don't think the Sixers are very good at the moment.
No, they're like 12th place in the conference. They're awful.
They're actually 11th at the moment.
See?
But they're tied for 11 with Brooklyn, so they are a whopping 24 games out of first place.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is
not surprising. This team has been awful. Absolutely.
Oh, man. Again, the West is looking like the West always does, and the bottom half of the East looks like it always does. Always. But that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, watching the Sixers, you know what that means? You need some good feels.
Good feels?
You do, man, because I swear they will. I mean, you have trouble sleeping or something, maybe this is it. Maybe it uplifts you. I don't know. Something's got to uplift you during a Sixers game right now. And so I would say some Good Feels cannabis seltzer will get you right where you want to be during a Sixers game. You just wouldn't give a damn.
Probably not.
Yeah. So, yeah, Good Feels is a cannabis seltzer that you can get from getgoodfeels.com. They offer a new era of refreshment crafted with high-quality natural ingredients. These beverages provide a consistent, enjoyable, uplifting experience, which you're going to need some uplifting experience with the Sixers because they're not uplifting you in any way. And it's perfect for any occasion. Enjoy an exclusive discount using Jabbo the Pod. Get yourself 20% off at getgoodfeels.com.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's what I feel about the Sixers right now.
I feel that about a lot of things right now.
There's no good feels with the Sixers.
Oh, man.
Yeah, speaking of college basketball.
Yeah, right.
That's now the main event. I guess outside of the NHL tournament thing they're doing. And
I like what the NHL is doing.
This is in place of the All-Star weekend. Am I correct?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Well, the Four Nations face-off is been phenomenal. And if you missed the game Saturday night, you missed a fun one. And it opened up with 3 fights in 9 seconds. Of course, the Canadians booed the national anthem. And it set a fire under the Americans' ass.
Oh, it is their All-Star break. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So, I like this a hell of a lot better than anything they do on NBA All-Star Weekend, by the way.
The NBA All-Star game had lost me a long time ago.
Yeah, me too. Yeah,
when they quit playing defense.
Yeah, they don't care. They just see who can score the most points.
Well, I thought it was bullshit the move LeBron pulled.
What did he do?
He didn't play.
Oh.
Like he took the spot and then like an hour before the game said he wasn't playing.
That's weak.
So he kept the spot that could have went to another guy.
Anybody else.
Yeah.
So he could be there. It's not like he couldn't be there anyway.
It's ready for him to retire.
I mean, it's not much longer.
You say that, but he's not getting...
They had some new format, and I can't say I know what it is.
It was essentially...
I didn't watch any of it. I didn't watch the dunk contest. I saw the highlights. I saw Matt McClung won. Again, 3 times in a row?
With ridiculous dunks.
Yeah, the dude's ridiculous. Shout out to the white guys.
So ridiculous he can't play in the NBA.
Yeah, unfortunately not. He could be on, what were those mixtapes back in the day, basketball?
The And Ones.
And One mixtape. Yeah. He could have been on those.
Like the dunk over the car, I actually thought was cleaner looking than Blake Griffin's.
Well, because he went over the actual car. He didn't go over the hood.
Yeah, he went over the top of that thing.
Yeah, he went over the top of the car. That was sick. And reversed them.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was filthy.
Well, the one where he goes over the dude, dunks both balls.
Mm-hmm.
That one was pretty sick, but I don't know. The whole All-Star weekend, like the thing that lost me about the dunk contest is none of the stars do it. Like me growing up, it was the guys.
Yeah, that was the whole thing.
Like it was the attraction.
Yeah, the dunk contest and the All-Star game both were
all of it was good.
Main events.
The three-pointer back then was good.
Can't miss television.
Yeah.
And the format, they tried, of course, I do give credit to the NBA trying to change it up because they know it's stale. But they did the target score 40 with 4 different teams. You had Shaq's team, you had Charles Barkley's team, you had Kenny Smith's team, and then they took a team from the winning Rising Stars event that was Candace Parker's team.
Yep.
So you have those 4 teams, and they played a round robin tournament with each team. Whoever scored 40 first wins. I mean, I guess it's something different to try, but apparently it did not get the viewership anybody was looking for. Hell, I even forgot it was All-Star Weekend, to be honest with you, until someone said something about the game yesterday.
I didn't forget about it. I just was watching other stuff. Like I said, I didn't really watch a whole lot of TV on Saturday.
Yeah.
Was pretty busy. Watched a little. Well, I watched a little bit of while we were out eating. I got to check out the Auburn, Alabama ending and stuff like that. But Sunday, it was just like, I slept a lot Sunday. What I did. And when I wasn't sleeping, I was playing video games. You know, like every good adult male should.
Do what you got to do.
Yeah. Felt like such a waste of space.
Nah. About that.
Oh. But no, it was kind of, but the NHL has hit it out of the park.
No, they have with this this Four Nations tournament. It's cool. You take the NHL stars from different countries and put them all on their national teams, and you get what has been a fun little tournament, especially when you get the U.S. and Canada going at it like that. Well, I love it.
It's also, hockey is one of those games that even in an all-star game, they ain't letting up.
No, that's what's great about that. And then we talk about the fights, and they're like, we don't care. Still gonna whoop this guy's ass.
Yeah.
You know?
We want to win and we're gonna fight at it.
Yo, 100.
I will say, I watched the video of the three fights, but I think was it the last fight with the US dude? I kind of felt bad for that dude. That dude was getting rocked.
Yeah.
Because the dude he was fighting was just so much longer than he was.
Yeah, he had his reach and everything.
Yeah, he was like, oh, you're getting tagged, sir.
I will say this. Hockey has the same length of a season as basketball, right?
Mm-hmm.
You see hockey guys tougher than nails. Go out here, play every game. No load management.
No.
Give it all every day.
I mean, they're hurt. If they're not playing, they are legit hurt.
Yeah.
And it's got to be
there's been times you see a guy with his mouth wired shut and he's playing.
Yeah.
There's guys without face masks taking pucks to the fucking dome.
Yeah.
And they get up and they're like, make me stop bleeding.
Yeah.
So I can get back on the ice. And there's no heart in basketball like that.
Dude, no.
And
not in today's game.
No. Now, back in the 90s and the 80s. And
yes.
Now, that was different. But now, no, these guys
they're too soft.
They're soft. They're pussified.
Yeah.
They think everything's owed to them and they can just do whatever they want. I can't play in back-to-backs. What do you mean you can't play in back-to-backs?
Yes, you can. I'm waiting
I'm watching these guys play their hearts out in hockey in an all-star, meaningless game, giving it everything they possibly can because they are more competitive than anybody else.
I think the hockey guys care more than any other sport. To be honest.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Like football, basketball, baseball, they 100% care more.
Yes.
And they are like, let's go.
Mm-hmm. Suit up and they just play, and they play 82 games.
90 miles an hour.
Absolutely. They're getting checked and head rocked and beat the hell up.
By far, probably the toughest of the four major sports, too.
There's no preserving their bodies to make it to the playoffs.
No.
Why is that mentality not in the NBA anymore?
I think it can still be there. I think teams are going to have to start negotiating this kind of stuff in their contract.
Yeah, you can't get paid to have a day of rest.
Yeah,
or
we're
load management.
We're paying you X amount of dollars,
but more money than they've ever been paid before.
Yes,
that's the thing. A measly contract would match what Michael Jordan's was in the 90s now.
Well, Jordan's biggest contract, I believe, was the actual contract for the last 2 years that he was there.
You're right.
And I think those 2 years he made $25 million apiece.
Right.
Or maybe it was 25 one year and 30 the next or something like that.
But he was worth every cent.
Oh, yeah.
There's guys that make $25 million a year now, and it ain't worth a damn.
There's guys making $25 million a year now, and they're like the guy sitting on the bench. Oh, I don't know what he's making since his buyout.
Well, yeah.
Somebody signed him.
But he's bought out.
Yeah. Clippers paid him. I don't know why, but they did.
But that's what I'm saying. It's silly to watch the effort that is given in a hockey game, and you do not get it in the NBA. Because the thing is, you see effort in a lot of other sports. You don't see the load management in any other sport.
No.
Can you imagine the NFL being like, I can't play this week. I played last week.
The only time they do it, it's the end of the year when there's nothing to play for.
And that's fine.
And I get it then.
Yeah, you're not risking injury because guess what? There's more likely going to be an injury in that NFL game than there is in any NBA game.
Yeah. Ben Simmons making $40 million this year. To fucking suck.
To suck. Like I said, the amount of money these guys make, it's ridiculous to even try to compare their era to any other era. It is soft, it's weak, and it has me not like interested as I had used to be.
I'm just going to say, I don't think the process worked.
It's pretty safe to say. I don't know why we got to jump on me.
I'm not really jumping on you. I'm just saying, like,
say anything about it right now. We don't need to talk about the process. Eagles won the Super Bowl, man. Why are we talking about the fucking Sixers?
Because we were talking basketball, and it just shocked me. I mean, like, those dudes have paid out how many hundreds of millions of dollars for two guys not to play.
No, you're right. 100%, man. It is awful.
I wish somebody would pay me not to go to work.
It'd be nice.
I could do that all day. You know, I can't win a dunk contest, so.
I could not. I am not Matt McClung.
No, I'm not either. I just don't know how. I just don't see how Ben Simmons, Kawhi Leonard, and James Harden like gel.
Yeah. No, they can't. Well, look at it this way. I will say the NBA is looking at what this Four Nations face-off's doing, and they are thinking about putting in this process for next year's All-Star break.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, like the USA versus the world. So,
I would be interested because you want to talk. There's actually good players from around the world,
right?
I mean,
yeah. You start right from the rip. You got Jokic, and you have Antetokounmpo. You have Wembyana. You have who am I forgetting? Luka Doncic.
Yeah,
I
Luka.
mean, yeah. I mean,
you want to go serious? Why am I having a brain fart?
Technically, you can take Shai Gilgeous Jr. or say SJG, GA, SGA. Get it right. What?
Yeah, he's what, Canadian?
Yeah, he's Canadian. Shai Gilgeous Alexander.
So is the dude, the point guard for Denver.
Jamal Murray.
Yeah, and Murray.
He's a two guard, but yeah.
Yeah,
he's Canadian. He's Canadian as well. Yeah, there's a lot of good talent from outside the United States. It would be interesting to watch.
There's a lot of good talent from outside the United States now.
Yeah, so I would be interested in something like that because I would want to see something like that. Now you can't do it every year and then bore me out with it. You got to be creative because the All-Star Weekend has just become a festivity.
You know how you make the All-Star Weekend really good?
Well, like the skill challenge is the best.
It's pretty good. And here's how you do it. Is you don't make it your All-Stars. Because your All-Stars really don't want to be there anyway.
They just want the time off.
They just want the time off. All right.
They don't get enough.
So what you do is you just literally put two teams of the bottom end NBA players.
And let them play.
I
mean, but do you
And
want to
then-
but you don't want to like pick out dudes and just be like, you guys are the worst, so we're going to throw you on 2 teams and let's see what we got.
I would love that. I want to, because
you don't want to be, you as a player, you don't want to be
on the worst team.
On the worst team. You don't want to point out the worst of, right? Yeah, but
no, we see it every day in the NBA. That's horrible. That's horrible.
Mm-hmm.
That's horrible. I mean, there's whole teams doing that right now.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the Raptors, and
Sixers.
Yeah, Sixers. Let's see who else. Like, they're standing. Like, there's some really, really, really bad teams. I mean, look at the Wizards.
Yeah, Wizards.
They're 9-45.
Yeah, they're bad.
Bad. I don't think, do any of their guys that they even traded for earlier that they wanted to put together, they're not even there anymore, right? Bill's gone. Kuzma's gone.
Well, they dumped salaries. They hit full rebuild.
Washington is always in full rebuild.
Valid point.
Every like 5 years, let's reset the button. Let's hit the reset button. You didn't have anything to reset.
Bad ownership, bad leadership at the top. Just not bringing in the right players.
Well, the problem is, and I wouldn't call Washington a small market. These small market teams, and I know Cleveland is doing well. I know there's small market teams that do well. Oklahoma City doing well. Oklahoma City traded their way and drafted well.
But that's a good front office.
Yes.
You need a good front office to make these things work.
Memphis drafted well, and you're signing, they're not going out and getting these crazy contracts. Oh, they're just making things, they're just doing the things the right way. But I don't know. You're still going to always have bad teams all the time.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's just the part of the game. I mean, it's the same across any salary cap sport. It's going to go up and down for the most part. Yeah. You're going to have bottom dwellers just because of what happened, plus injuries and things like that, too. Those things are always coming to play. That's why you see that. But the thing is the teams that can sustain the success through all of that. And those are the ones are built well at the front office, and they draft well, and it comes with that. It's not because you're a small market team or a big market team. It's because you do all the right things to put the right pieces in place to be successful. Hence, OKC, small market team.
They
probably the favorite to win the title right now.
Yeah, them or Cleveland. Mm-hmm. Another small market team.
Exactly. Doing things the right way.
I just want more. Like, I'm not a huge fan of this play-in stuff either. I don't like the play-in tournament. I think it's garbage.
It's something they're trying to do to stay relevant. The thing is, the NBA is losing viewers. The NBA is going to continue to lose viewers. Yeah, because everything they do right now is not for a fan, is not positive from a fan standpoint.
No, it's positive for the player standpoint.
Exactly. But the thing is, it's become too player controlled. And that's, part of the issue. Now, granted, I do believe the player should have some kind of control. It shouldn't, but it's gotten too heavily. It's too. They're
dictating when they're playing, when they're doing like this, when they're doing that.
You can't have that mess.
Well, viewership's going down. I know attendance isn't really going down,
but
it's probably going down some,
right?
But
the whole thing, their money's made from viewership.
Yeah,
that's where it all is.
Yeah, but you're losing fans when, okay, I want to watch this game because I want to see these guys play.
Yeah.
Well, fuck, these guys aren't playing today.
Right. Or you travel for a game and then all of a sudden one of them drops out. Kind of like the whole thing with LeBron dropping out like before the All-Star game all of a sudden.
Yeah.
A lot of people probably went to the All-Star game to watch him play. Maybe the only time they ever got the opportunity and he pulls out. You can't do that. Not only from the standpoint of that you cost another person a spot to participate in All-Star weekend, but then you also cost that kid in the stands who wanted to watch you play.
Yeah.
And that comes back to the whole thing with, regular season games. And sitting out and not playing is like people travel to watch you play. People save money to spend to watch you play. You need to play.
Yeah.
You can't tell me that the season's too grueling. No, it's not. Because we just pointed out that hockey players play the same amount of games and they don't give you this
probably
bullshit.
Play a more physical game.
It's absolutely a more physical game. There's no question about it.
But the NBA's got to figure it out. And I believe they will.
I think it comes back to your thing, is writing it in the contracts.
Yes.
And then, taking some of the power away from the players. I'm not saying take it all away, but you got to take some of it away from the players because where we're at right now it's hurting.
It is
the product.
And I got to imagine, I know the Players Association isn't going to agree with you can't take money out of our pockets. Dude, you're not playing. You're not feeling your contractual obligation.
Exactly. Like any other contract doesn't let you take this time off.
Ooh.
Right?
No.
And that's why are you the only league that needs this?
Because they're weak and they're soft.
Exactly. And like I said, too much control with the players.
Weak and soft.
That's it. Well, if you're still interested in the NBA, tell them about Old Glory.
Old Glory, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. An official sports merchandiser, along with movies, music, television, pop culture, anything from cups to t-shirts to banners to flags to supplies, whatever you're looking for all fields of entertainment needs. Old Glory can fill that need with products from all walks of life.
Right. Well, yeah, if you don't want NBA gear and you're really getting into NHL, you can find some NHL gear.
Yeah.
So that's nice.
It's NHL.
I didn't pop on to see if they had any Super Bowl gear. I might do that later.
Should have.
Yeah, because we get a promo code.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
What is it?
It is Jabbo the Pod.
Yeah, I like it.
Put that in, get 20% off?
I think that one's 15%.
It's at 15. Yes,
15% off at oldglory.com.
Yep.
Yeah, so if you've got some new fandom for the NHL, or if you're just looking for some...
I know it's hockey time for us.
Yeah, next month. And then we got pitchers and catchers reported this week, and spring training is going to be in full effect this week. So you grab your MLB gear there too. But yeah, the whole sports world is I'm turning the page now that Super Bowl's over.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I read an interesting article last week.
Yeah.
Week before last. That according to this article, MLB owners are going to be looking to push for a salary cap.
Yeah, I read about that briefly.
And I am down for it because I'm willing to bet they're tired of watching the Dodgers sign all these guys and defer all their money.
No, I guarantee you owners are tired of it. And the thing is when you saw the Yankees and the Dodgers were in on a lot of these big foreign guys and free agents, and they all ended up with LA. And I get the whole LA appeal, especially with, the foreign players coming from Japan. It's just they're the known team and they're the closest to home.
Yep.
It's 6 hours closer to home. So that makes a ton of sense. I understand that, but the problem is they're spending this money, they're deferring the money, and they've danced on this gray line so
hard,
so much, especially recently, that it's just the other owners are probably sick and tired of it.
They should be.
So I feel like it should be very similar to a lot of other salary caps. Maybe ease into it a little bit. Have somewhat of a solid, decent high cap. Hit them with luxury taxes, and kind of go with that. I mean, that's exactly what it should be. Because it does make a more level playing field.
It does.
But it doesn't, you don't get something without parity. Because that's what you're aiming for that right now.
Yeah. I think you'll get parity. I think you'll also see, I think they need to put in a rule like the NFL does, to where you have to spend, like, is it the NFL or the NBA that says
both
that you have to spend at least
90% of the cap?
Yeah, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And they need it. I mean, these small market teams, Kansas City's, places like that, I'm guessing there'll be some type of revenue sharing that'll come along with the salary cap.
Well, yeah, that's the benefit of the salary cap, is the revenue,
which I think would be great, because there's great baseball towns out there right now that are struggling because they can't afford to compete.
Right.
And
your big market teams are always going to spend the money and be competitive for the most part.
Yeah. I mean, I see it every year. I'm a Mets fan.
Right.
And we open our checkbooks every year.
Yeah. I mean, Philadelphia is one of the higher spenders too. The Yankees always big spenders. The Dodgers.
Houston is a big spending team.
Texas,
the Rangers are usually a big spending team.
I mean, they're right there in Fort Worth or Arlington.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Dallas, whatever. The whole area is the same.
The Dallas metro area.
Yeah. So, yeah, absolutely.
But I thought it was interesting that they had even kicked that around. I mean, baseball was so anti that for so long.
But, I mean, you're right. I think that's what drives it. It is going to be what the Dodgers are doing right now, and it's upsetting these owners. So that's why we're here.
And, Dodgers will be like, it's not just us. Yeah, it's you structuring your contracts the way you're doing. I don't know anybody else that's doing it that way.
No.
Especially on a $700 million deal.
Yeah, I mean, the deferment part.
I mean,
you go overseas and watch the football played there. There's no salary caps there. It's just the biggest spenders, and that's how it is. But there's still parity in the sport because you have a lot of different owners and different styles and things like that. Sometimes these big contracts that are given in these the funds to make these types of transfers over there, they just don't work out either. So,
well, I feel like that with soccer too. You also, I feel like they're raised with like a little bit of a hate. Like there's sometimes that they're just like, yeah, I'm never going to go play for that team.
Oh yeah, no, this is definitely that too.
I'm just never going to go play for that team. And, Griffey said he would never play for the Yankees. I 100% believe that.
No, I know that.
100%.
He told that to a bunch of Yankees fans.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was truth then.
It's just like, but I need to see the cap. I'd like to see it.
I'd like to see what they offer up. Yeah.
I mean, they're talking about potential work stoppage and stuff. Like a lockout to make it happen.
I mean, that'd be interesting to see how it would survive and how long it could survive.
I mean, what kind of money are you talking on these salaries? Like, what's a cap going to be?
Right. I mean, that's going to be important.
I mean,
your cap's going to have to be somewhere right now. Probably like the average of the top 5 teams. Right?
250 plus.
Yeah, whatever the salary is for the average of the top 5 teams, then maybe say, all right, that's where we're going to start the cap. Or maybe even higher based upon how much, revenue sharing we're talking about too. The cap could be a little bit higher based on that, how the NFL does it. So it'd be interesting to see exactly how that goes.
Ooh, okay. You were using the top 5.
Yep.
In average. Oh, let's see. You would be Dodgers, Phillies, Mets, Yankees, Blue Jays.
Yeah.
That's your top 5.
Blue Jays up there. Impressive.
239 million.
Is the average of the top 5?
That's the Blue Jays at 5.
Okay. They're 239. So
everybody
what are the
else,
Dodgers?
303.
303.
279 for Philly. 276 for the Mets. 275 for the Yankees. And then it drops, almost 40 million to the Blue.
Right. So you're going to say probably roughly about 265-ish, 260, a little more. 265, 270 is going to be your average.
You imagine the Marlins having to pay that much money in salary?
Well, if you have to spend a minimum
of 90. Marlins.
Well, they probably wouldn't say 90%. They'd probably come in and say like 75% of the cap needs to be spent.
You could take almost the bottom 5 salaries and not have the average of the top 5.
Right.
Rays, Pirates, White Sox, Athletics, Marlins.
So what does that look like?
The Marlins are at 43.5. Rays are at 72.
See, here's a problem with the minimum contracts, right? As you see in the NBA, you got to go out and overpay people.
You do.
But see, that's a problem. You don't want to do that. You don't want to overpay because what was it? It was years ago where like the NBA's salary cap jumped exponentially.
Oh yeah, that was the year that like Nick Batum got
and Wesley Matthews
$150 million.
Yeah, they got these astronomical contracts that did not match their value.
No.
So you want to prevent that, right? So the minimum of that you should spend may come even at 33% or something like that, and just say, hey, you do need to spend at least $100 million. Like, don't sit here and bottom feed Miami.
Well, that's just it. I don't understand how Miami couldn't be a huge baseball town.
Right, especially with the Caribbean like fan base in that area.
Yes.
They love baseball.
Yes, I don't get it. Like, I feel like
the tickets are affordable there because they suck. So
yeah, but I think they could be good. They could be.
Oh,
like,
no,
I don't know.
The venue's beautiful. The area's beautiful. Like
no state tax.
Yeah, I mean they have every.
I mean, that's what the Marlins usually do. They when they decide, all right, we're going to go win a series, they get lucky with a few guys and like, oh, we got a good team. If we put a couple pieces around it,
salary dump.
We might can win, and then they'll go win it, and then they're like, okay, we're having a fire sale. Mm-hmm. Who wants what?
No, they've done it twice in the 2 World Series they've won.
Like, just crazy. But then you have teams like the Guardians, who are 25th in payroll, that are competing.
Yeah,
they're competing. I mean, the Rays at 72. I mean, the whole AL East was pseudo in it to a point.
Right.
We just know the White Sox, Athletics, and Marlins are never going to be.
No.
And it'll be a long time before the Pirates are either.
Yeah, they got a star on the roster, but he only shows up about once every 5 games.
Yep. He'll be that guy that finds a huge deal somewhere else in 5 years.
LA or New York?
Possibly.
We know it.
LA and New York are one of the Texas teams.
Yeah. Where's he originally? Excuse me. Where is he originally from?
Dude, he might actually be from from the South somewhere.
He looks like it.
Looks like he'd be a guy from Louisiana or Texas.
Arkansas.
From Arkansas?
Where did he play? LSU?
He played at BYU and LSU.
Yeah.
Let's see Let's see your wiki, sir. Where are you from? Oh, he's a California kid.
Paul Skeens is from California.
Fullerton.
Going to the Dodgers and Padres.
How'd they let that dude get out of California?
Because he was drafted.
Oh. He played college
Oh.
ball.
Yeah, I don't know how he got out of California.
Like, how did
Maybe he just wanted out.
Maybe, but like, just Cal State Fullerton alone.
Yeah, no, I agree. I get it.
Has a history in the College World Series.
Yeah. Oh, who knows?
I mean, I want to think he went to BYU and then transferred out, which is weird. I don't know why I would want to go there. No, it wasn't BYU. It was Air Force.
Air Force
Academy. And he was a two-way
That's completely
player.
different than BYU.
Yeah, that's a little off. a little different. Just a little bit. No need for soakers at the Air Force Academy.
No soaking. No soaking in there.
Yeah, I just don't
They
know.
do all their own motion.
Okay. That makes a little more sense. He's got a lot of family that were military.
Makes sense.
That makes sense now.
Then he wanted to play competitive baseball when he realized, hey, I got a really sick talent. Let's take it up a notch.
Dude, apparently he was a two-way player in college. Could hit and frickin'.
Nice.
During his senior year, he was a team captain in high school with a .33 ERA and hit 3 home runs before the remainder of the season was abruptly canceled in response to COVID.
Wow. .33 ERA. That's amazing.
Dude, throwing 95 in high school, bro. You are gonna.
Yeah, it's straight gas.
He's a beast too. Like, he's a workout. Like, I saw an interview with him on McAfee, and they were asking him all like, "What's he doing?" Because he was in Indianapolis because that's where their like AAA affiliate is.
Yeah,
and he's like, I don't really do anything. Like, they asked him if he went to the zoo, and the zoo is he's like, I don't even know where the zoo is. It's right across the street from the stadium.
That's fun.
He's like, dude, all I do is work out, and I'm at the facility or I'm in my apartment doing nothing.
Getting better and better.
He's great, dude. First overall by the Pirates. $9.2 million. I'm trying to see how long of a deal it was. How long is a minor league deal?
I think in baseball, you can negotiate any of those deals, right when you're drafted. You can negotiate any kind of contract you want. They're usually not astronomical by any means.
No, but he can get what he wants to get. But I was just curious.
If they wanted to pay him $100 million right out of college, they could.
I mean,
but usually those kids don't play college.
Well, this dude, freaking 1.96 ERA, 170 strikeouts, 32 walks, 11-3 and 23 starts.
That's great.
Named Rookie of the Year and finished third in the Cy Young.
No, he was
crazy.
He was great to watch. 100% great to watch.
It's the only thing good about Pittsburgh.
It is.
Anyway.
Hey, man, I think we could wrap this week up. We could dig into some more college basketball next week.
NBA, NHL.
Right, absolutely. Oh, crap. I was supposed to do the Old Glory read.
You was supposed to do the Old Glory read.
Well, give me the other read because we missed that one.
Give it to you? I'll just do it.
No, I said, yeah, say it. You can.
All right, man.
Sorry, we didn't really build this one.
Yeah. Another one of our proud sponsors is Big Fork Brands. They are your gateway to flavor nirvana. Based in Chicago, this family-owned business crafts the finest burger and hot dog sauces, along with bacon sausages and paleo-friendly treats. Products such as their Real Windy City sauce captures essence of Chicago's vibrant culinary scene. Dive into a range of pork sticks, bacon sausage, and paleo jerky, all designed to satisfy your craving while supporting a keto-friendly lifestyle. And that is at bigforkbrands.com. Put in the promo code of Jabbo the Pod for a 20% off all products.
Boom.
And I'm still waiting.
Get some sauces.
I'm still waiting on the jerky, sir.
Yeah, no, it should be here. I got to check to see if I can go find that email with the shipping.
I'm looking for the sample.
I know you are.
You know me, dude. Fat guy and a little guy's body.
That guy in a little coat.
Well, you want to call that it for the week?
Yeah, man. Next week we'll hop back on some more college basketball, some more NBA news as the second half of the season starts. March Madness is 2 weeks away.
It is close. It is close, my friend.
Yeah, crazy.
Not feeling very good though.
No.
Man, we'll probably lose tonight at State.
Well, hate it for you.
I know. I think one of the last things I saw that's at one point I thought somebody said we might be one of the first 4 out or something. I don't even know how that's possible.
So you're on the way. Maybe might squeak in there. Might squeak in.
I think it's going to take a deep ACC run.
Good. Maybe a win against Duke at the end of the year.
That could be big for us. That could be big.
That'd be good.
That could be big.
All right, man. Well, until next week, we'll bring you all the latest and greatest in sports as we always do.
Yes, sir.
But up until next week, man, I will see you.
Yes, sir.
Yep. Go Birds.
Post-game show is brought to you by Christ, I can't find it. The hell with it.